Welcome to episode 7 of Black Widow, our last episode. If you've been following this challenge from the beginning, you will know that we only on a husband 5 for our Black Widow, which is only halfway through the challenge. Rules of the challenge state that Black Widow must marry and kill 10 husbands. But I decided that we will stop at 5. I will be completely honest with you, I got bored of Black Widow challenge. I do really like characters that we created in the process of this challenge and I'm attached to them, but I got bored of the Black Widow challenge part of it. Find man, marry him, have a dinner party, kill him. It got a little too repetitive for me, even with all of the side quests. Previous episode was entirely side quest, dedicated to Max. And we started this episode with Max coming back home, I guess. This is his home, Evangeline's house. There is nothing else left for him to do after previous episode and now both his wife and his boyfriend being dead. There is nothing left for him to do except to come back or crawl back to Evangeline's house. It's a little bit less humiliating for Max right now because Evangeline currently not living in this house. She's living with her new husband. We will meet him a little bit later. In my imagination, Evangeline still owns this house, but in Sims 4 you cannot really own two properties as just your houses. So at this house, the one with the Death Tower, we now only have Jade and older Evangeline sons. And at her new place with her new husband, there are her younger children. And we will go there shortly after. I just have some things to do here. Max is really sad and he had to come back to place where his father and brother died. But I think we could go and mourn them. His father's grave in the husband's room in the tower. I never made a portrait for Jacques. I don't think it's happening anymore. Despite the fact that Jacques wasn't the kindest parent to Max, he was the only parent of Max. We could also strengthen Jacques' connection to this world. Maybe leave a sugar skull offering, do the things needed so his spirit won't disappear, won't be deleted from the world. Wait. Oh, I just noticed that he's on my characters panel. I think I misclicked and added him to the family while I was looking for strengths and connection thing. How do I put you back? How do I don't really need you in this family. I need you to go back. We're just going to ignore that for now. I've been in this house for a couple of hours and I already summoned a ghost. And we're just going to ignore Jacques. Maybe he will go away eventually. Or he can meet Mara. I think I did it as her. I was playing as her and clicking on the graves and accidentally added him to the family. So maybe she just heard Max crying about his father and maybe saying something like, oh, I wish I could talk to him again. She did some fairy magic and summoned his ghost. So let Jacques be nice grandpa and give your granddaughter a hug. Just don't ask where she came from. We don't talk about that. I think Mara is sick. Tiger stripes. There is not much I can do for you in this 14th century. I started thinking right now, did I set word medieval when I introduced the video? Welcome to the medieval Black Widow challenge. But I don't think it matters at this point. I don't think anyone watching challenge starting from this episode. You need so much context at this point to understand things that I'm saying. If anyone opened this video without seeing all of the previous episodes, I think they already left. You tell me, if this is the first video of mine or the first Black Widow video of mine that you're seeing and you're still here, tell me in the comments. I will be very surprised and also, I'm sorry, I guess. I got distracted by the beautiful sky. It's such a bright orange sky. The reason why I wanted to play with this section of the Black Widow household. If you remember, I really wanted Jade to have baby with the Grim Reaper because she's obsessed with death and that's why she stuck with Angeline throughout all of these years. But Grim Reaper is made to be asexual by default, which from one side makes sense. We don't even know what's under that hood. But I also don't have to follow that for death. If that's any other character just like randomly generated or pre-made sims, I usually would respect that, but it's death. We can just change that. We can take him into the cast and change that. That's why I decided to play with Jade. I can complete that little idea of her having a baby with Grim Reaper. And that's why I invited this lady to our house. I don't know who she is. Max knew her, so I invited her to our house. And Jade now needs to become her friend and progress in their friendship enough to invite her to join our household. So I can feed her to cow plant and with that get some used juice and also invite Grim Reaper. That's how Jade invites him on dates. She kills people. Why is Mara burning to death? That's not the death that I need, please. We need to extinguish fireplaces. It's literally a heat wave outside. Why we have fires? I just discovered that you can summon Grim Reaper through this gramophone. Why wasn't it possible when I needed it? I don't know if you remember, but a couple episodes ago, when my Grim got all buggy and Jade could not talk to him, bought this thing to summon Grim Reaper and it just did not had an action for it. This game is so confusing. I guess we don't need to kill that woman, but also the already friends and some used juice would be nice. And Cow already has a cake out, so I just need to invite this lady to live with us. I'm also realizing that after we stop playing with these families, they're just going to exist in the same file while we play decades and they will age. I can flag them, Jade and Evangeline, for not aging, to pretend like they keep making use elixirs, however it's called, from cow plant. I like to call it used juice. Okay, apparently we were close enough friends, so now I could invite this poor woman to live with us. Welcome to the family. Do you want some cake? And Grim is already here because we summoned him through the gramophone. Okay, you actually cannot take him into class. Huh. This makes it difficult. Is Science Baby will work with you? Yeah, for some reason it will. I don't know why I didn't thought about that earlier. I think I just thought that it would be too easy and kind of not logical. Why would you be able to make a Science Baby with Grim Reaper? But I guess you can make Science Baby with yourself, which is weirder in my opinion. So yeah, Jade just going to go somewhere with Grim Reaper and come back with a child that's half dead. And meanwhile, this lady can go and eat some cake. It's been waiting for you this whole time. Okay, and Jade now has a baby girl that needs a name. I decided to name her Onyx. I feel like it's not that creative. I'm not really good at naming things, but I feel like Onyx is a decent name. And also, you know, Jade, Onyx, kind of continuing the theme of names in the family. Jade is a rock, right? Like shiny rock. And Onyx is the name of a black rock. Immediately hiring nanny. I'm not dealing with this child. I think there is a naked ghost in my house. Speaking of ghosts, or rather future ghosts, this lady that we invited to live with us, to feed her to the cow plant, we need to do it twice, obviously. So for now, she just kind of living in our house, so I'm using her for labor around the house, like cleaning, feeding animals. I'm going to send her to cook us some boiled eggs. If you're gonna be here, it might as well be useful. What's even her name? Kennedy guy. Okay, Kennedy. You kind of have a prisoner. Ghost of Edmund came to talk to her. I think Edmund is dumb enough to think that she's Evangeline. He just comes into the kitchen and assumes that whoever is cooking here is his wife. I decided to give Kennedy a very quick makeover. I didn't even change her hair or give her skin details. All I did is give her old Jade's dress, so like the same dress that Jade used to wear before she discovered that Grim Reaper doesn't like blue. Jade, you're a mother now? You actually need to deal with it. She's got stuck again. I'm sick of this bed. I like how it looks, but she gets stuck every time. Leonard decided to go and chat for a little bit with Mara. Max also decided to join them. Leonard is the oldest son of Evangeline, the Black Widow, and he has really interesting relationship with his mother. I think it's just because he's erratic sims, so sometimes he does like mean interactions even towards the characters that he actually likes. But I think with Evangeline, it kind of fitting, like her oldest son understands what she's doing when his younger siblings don't understand. So he loves her because she's his mother and she never did anything bad to him, but he saw her over and over doing horrible stuff to other people. So that's my reasoning for him to maybe wanted to stay away, not live with her, also not want to like represent this family in the society as the oldest child and oldest son. He also really gravitates towards Max. He wants to be friendly with Max. He would go to the Max for advice more often than he would go to Evangeline for advice. They both erratic, and I feel like they also have this connection of understanding what's happening, that they live in murderous house, but not being able to escape it. He started to making new painting, and Mara came downstairs to chat with him. Mara would sit for some time with Max and watch him paint, and also chat with him, at some point asking if they ever going to go back to Willow Creek, to the house where they used to live there. She is happy to come back to Windenbrook and to Evangeline's family, but she's now worried that her friends were left alone without supervision in Willow Creek, and Max at first would think that friends means Elodie is the only actual friend that Mara made in Willow Creek. Elodie Goth, daughter of royal family, basically princess of Willow Creek, but obviously princess of Willow Creek doesn't need supervision, so he will like understand that Mara is clearly talking about Patchy, scarecrow that she made sentient. And Max will scold her a little bit. He told her to not use any magic in Anna's house, and that she saw how dangerous magic can be, and that they will never go back there. That answer probably made her very upset. Kennedy tried to flirt with ghost of Jacques, and Jacques said, you're not my wife. I'm not as dumb as that one. She's been here for no more than 2 days and she already gone mad. I think it's time to address elephant in the room, or rather ghost in the house. Jacques is literally in Max's bedroom. It's time for Max to acknowledge that the ghost of his father is here, and maybe they can chat. Maybe it could be a nice bonding moment. It can make them hug and just have deep conversation, and for Max to just say that all he's ever wanted is to just be loved by his father and make him proud, be good son, all the things. Jacques not trying to scare him. Jacques is just started to fight. Why are you like this? What? He just autonomously started to fight while I'm here trying to make them have nice bonding father-son moment. No redemption arc for you, Jacques. You're awful. Onyx just sleeping on the floor. It's like lullaby to her, them fighting, like half a meter from her. I mean, Max won, so at least he beat up the ghost of his father. Max had a want for a while to declare an enemy. I think I found his enemy. And his sister sending him letters asking if he wants to go over to her house. I feel like Max won't go to her house ever again, exactly because he's like the only precious, normal person in his life. She's a bit oblivious, but she also just a kind young woman, and as her brother he would want to keep her away from all of the madness happening around him. So Max and ghost of his dad are enemies now? That's not how I thought that would go, but Jack decided to be a menace. Can you at least not camp in your son's room after that? And Cow has her cake out again. We're going to send Kennedy to grab some cake. It's raining and thundering outside. Very appropriate weather for this. It's been a couple of hours since Cow planned ate our prisoner, and nothing is happening. Grim is not coming for some reason. Oh, it's bugged. It's 100% bugged. First of all, it's next morning. Here is the Grim Reaper, and I think he's been here the whole night. He's levitating, not in the ways he's supposed to. I hope now he will go and rip her soul. I need that used juice. That poor woman been just inside of the cow for the whole night, just existing there, neither dead or alive. Is Cow digesting her while she's alive? I reset Grim Reaper multiple of times, hoping that he will start doing something. It's now 1 p.m. and she's still inside of the cow plant, and I'm getting messages that she's burning to death. I'm assuming because she's not in her hot weather outfit inside of the cow plant, and also other people burning to death. I need to extinguish all of the fireplaces in the house. But also, I think Grim Reaper is not gonna come and rip her soul, and I'll just have to reset the cow plant. Here we go. And she's just gone now. I told Max to come and milk the cow, and the only thing we got is the essence of happiness. So that didn't work. That desk glitched out completely. Maybe it's just this save and this house, too much information accumulated, so game is struggling to process things. I really don't know. Grim Reaper now playing chess. At least he's doing something, not just standing in the chicken pen. And we have Evangeline visiting us. For some reason, she's very, very sad. Why are you so sad? What happened? Not me, like, feeling sorry for her. Why my poor little murderer so sad? Now Max is talking to Evangeline, telling her some stories, maybe telling her everything that happened in Willow Creek. At least she's looking happier now. Maybe his story entertained her. She likes hearing about all of these fairies and magic. Oh, I think she has fear of death. Maybe that's why she's so sad. She actually just scared. Ironically. It's not that ironic, to be honest. She could be afraid to die herself while killing other people. She's literally drinking youth potions to keep herself young forever. If you think that my voice sounds different from beginning part of this video, it's because it's been recorded a month ago, or even more. I think I started recording this episode in the middle of November. I recorded the majority of this episode. I thought that I only have ending left, and then I lost my audio files. Somewhere in the midst of me doing 25 Ultimate Decays videos in December. I probably deleted files at some point, thinking that they old and I don't need them anymore, because I do not name properly my files. And here we are. From this point forward, I'm just going to walk you through what happened in the rest of this episode. And also remind myself what happened, because it was months ago. I do not remember what happened in this episode. Or rather, not in details. But I think it would be good for us, because this episode was so long, like stupidly long. And also in that one part, that audio file of which survived, I sound very unenthusiastic. I don't remember why. November was rough on me, okay? By this point in the episode, I realized that I already did everything that I wanted to do at old Black Widow house, and I also figured out how to return Ghost to the other world. Rock is gone, thankfully. Evangeline visited Jade, and I decided that would be a good moment to move Max, Mara, and us to her new house and introduce to you Evangeline's new husband, new place. This house I did not build, I found it on the gallery. I will put on the screenshot of the gallery post with the name of the person who created the house. It's a very beautiful house. I like the shell of it a lot. It's very intricate, but I used it mostly as a shell because I do not own a lot of DLCs in this game. So often when I download something, it's empty. So I furnished it on my own, made it playable. Max met Evangeline's new husband, Dwayne Hemlock. Is that his name? I don't remember. It's been a month. I remember that I was considering multiple of last names for this man because his last name will become Evangeline's final last name, so it was important. And I googled poisonous plants or poisonous flowers, and there was a couple that I really like, and Hemlock was one of them. I considered Belladonna. I decided that it's too obvious. Foxglove, I like it so much that I would love to use it for someone else. Also, I really like Amanita. It's not a plant, I think it's a mushroom, poisonous mushroom. Also like it a lot, probably will use it for someone else's last name. So I settled on a Hemlock. Dwayne is actually a randomly generated sim. Surprisingly, I did give him a makeover. I gave him medieval outfit, I gave him hair, I gave him custom content hair, some skin details, but I did not change anything about his shape of him, his face. And I do like a lot how he looks. Maybe too much. I think I got a little too attached to this character. I remember struggling with the idea of killing him. I played through quite a substantial period with Max living in this house with Mara and Dwayne in Evangeline couple. Maybe I'm partially sad that I lost original audios where I was like talking while playing. Evangeline and Dwayne turned out to be such a beautiful couple together that I was considering ways in which I could keep him alive. But I decided that at this point it does not make sense for her to settle for a man, for anyone, to be honest. Or rather, to settle for a husband who thinks himself as a man of the house. And Dwayne was shaping up to be a very traditional man, in a good way. Kind and caring, but traditional. Not the kind that would allow Evangeline to be in a lead role. Max also been abducted. Is anyone surprised at this point? Fortunately not pregnant. one fake child is enough for him. He also got an achievement for being abducted 3 times. I did not know that there is an achievement for that. Also, Max and Dwayne became friends really easily, really quick, despite that Max sometimes does mischievous interactions autonomously because he's erratic and he does weird stuff sometimes. Dwayne liked him. And in general, Dwayne was spending a lot of time with his family, children, raising Evangeline's children. Maybe it's because he has loyal trait, he more prone to being around his family, interacting with them. I also played them in probably my favorite neighborhood in Windenburg, if not an entire game, fighting for the first place with forest area of Hanford. But this neighborhood in Windenburg is so beautiful, just a sea all around the island, waves, beach. I love it. I just love how it looks. Always loved it. It also makes me a little bit nostalgic because at some point on a different channel, I did 100 baby challenge and matriarch of the challenge lived in this neighborhood. And I really like doing the challenge. I added an additional feature of 100 aesthetics where for each child born, I randomized aesthetic for the child. I just took them from long alphabetized list of aesthetics and I read them according to that and tried to shape their hobbies and interests around that aesthetic. It added element of variety and prevented me from, kind of neglecting all of the children and not paying much attention to them. And also, I feel like it's very fun and inconsequential ways to explore aesthetics. And the reason why I put matriarch in this neighborhood because her aesthetic was ocean grunge, which is actually a style of music, but obviously related to a lot of dark sea visuals. I'm talking about it like I completed the challenge. I only got to child 14 or 15 and gave up. I think the idea was fun, the idea was there. So as I was saying, going back to the Black Widow challenge, there was a lot of very mundane but as cute as it can be in this family, gameplay of just raising children, playing in this house, spending a lot of time at the beach, rainy days at the beach. Leonard visited his mother, or I think he was visiting Mara actually, because he was calling Mara and asking if he could visit. There was also a lot of Max being naked for no reason. I think he was trying to travel in the rain, but for some reason not putting clothes back on after doing that and just walking around naked, playing harp naked. He spent concerning amount of hours playing harp naked. At some point, I got a notification about Dwayne discovering Evangeline's boundaries, romantic boundaries or whatever they called. And he got a moodlet that he cheated on his partner called Broken Trust. Because he's a loyal sim, he has special moodlets for that and special interactions for that. I did not caught a moment of him flirting with somebody else, but I assume it was Max, because there was literally nobody else in the house. So yeah, that happened also multiple times. He did that once and I went through him confessing, cheating to Evangeline being upset, but not actually being upset. That moodlet got overpowered by all of her positive moodlets, being perpetually flirty and happy. Dwayne was upset about him kind of cheating on Evangeline, then he was apologizing for that, and eventually they repaired their trust, until he did it again. At some point, I was considering making them reconsider their romantic boundaries. Max had crush on Evangeline for a while. Max having crush on Evangeline feels sad, a little bit Hannibal coded. At this point, I, for the most part, enjoyed playing as Mara. She was spending a lot of time with Osmond. They became really good friends. They were hanging out together. I started preparing for dinner party that we're supposed to do as a part of Black Widow rules. I wanted to do something a little bit more fun and do a ball event from Regency Romance mode instead of dinner party. I invited over quite a lot of people. I invited Evangeline's own family. Her mother unfortunately passed away, but she has a lot of half siblings. She has her aunt's family, Pancakes. I also invited Max's sister and her family and local royals. At some point, probably while being bored or or not able to sleep at night, I created a monarchy for Windenburg. Just a family of a king, queen, their children. I gave them son and multiple daughters, and their son is already married himself. So we invited those people, and we also invited bachelor's family. Bachelors are parents of Bela Goth. Parents themselves no longer alive, but Bela Goth has a brother, and that brother went on to have his own family. He has wife, daughters, but no sons. And also Cassandra Goth moved to Windenburg to live with her grandparents and now with her uncle. So we invited all of those important people. I'm imagining Dwayne Hemlock being pretty high in society. A lord or a baron, maybe close with the king, trusted person of the king. So Evangeline managed to climb her social ladder pretty high. I never wanted to marry her into royalty because I just don't think you can pull off killing the king. At least I don't see Evangeline pulling it off or ever wanting that. At this point in her life, she accumulated so much wealth that she does not need a crown. Eventually, the day of the ball came. I tried to block off some parts of the house to stop Sims from going upstairs into the bedrooms and downstairs into the basement. There's nothing scary in the basement. It could have been. No, eventually it easily could have been, but I just didn't want to NPCs going there and getting and hanging out in the basement during the ball. I came up with a really clever idea of putting furniture in front of the staircases that I did not wanted them to use. And also by doing that, I locked toddlers upstairs with food. During the ball, they're supposed to eat their dinner and go to sleep, not bother adults. Probably for more realistic approach, I also should have hired a nanny for them. I also should have blocked the kitchen because, unfortunately, majority of our guests were spending time in the kitchen while Evangeline was cooking, instead of being in the living room where there is bar, piano. It was the room that I intended to be a room for a ball, but no, we all sat in the kitchen. I also discovered that a lot of Regency Romance mod features not working in my game. Like some parts of the mod working, some not. Dancing not working, which is big part of ball. And because dancing wasn't working, I could not earn silver, at least silver reward for the ball. In the rules, you're supposed to earn at least silver reward for dinner party. A lot of people are just standing outside on the porch, not going inside. It was interesting to see Evangeline hosting party attended by the king of Windenburg, and also Cassandra Goth. I did hire a mixologist for this ball. He never showed up, and because dancing and some other things from the month wasn't working, I wasn't able to earn silver reward, so ball just ended, and I decided that I will just do dinner party on a different day. That's fine. They also all got sentiment for being ashamed of a terrible party. Evangeline, Dwayne, and Max, because they all were considered hosts of the party. I don't think I mentioned that Evangeline was pregnant during all of this. I'm making her to have a child from every husband to justify her inheriting all of the husband's possessions. I did a dinner party for them only a day later, basically when everybody in the house finally slept enough after the ball because they were exhausted. They were partying the whole night. This time I blocked off the kitchen, so guests were actually in the dining room. And dinner party was successful. We got a silver reward for that. At that party, you can see that some of the characters becoming elders, like Pancakes. Eliza and Bob became an elders, and Bella's brother became an elder. Max was having very good time at that party. He was chatting and flirting with all of the young single ladies, king's daughters, and also bachelor's daughters. And during that dinner party, Evangeline started giving birth. She's again into labor. I think it's not her first time going into labor during dinner party. And she had another son. Where is that luck in ultimate decades? She had 6 children, not a single girl. And I named this child Duke, which is now looking back at that name, why? Probably wasn't feeling very inspired by yet another boy. I guess boys good for inheritance. I don't remember playing with the child, honestly. Maybe I just hired nanny for him? For some reason, gameplay with younger children in this challenge irritates me. Okay, let's be honest, I don't like infants in general. I don't know if I would go as far as to say that we don't need them at all as an age stage, but they definitely add a lot of tedious gameplay. They also can be very buggy and do a lot of when sim doesn't do what you told them to do. You could tell your sim to put infant in the crib because infant is sleepy and screaming, crying because they are sleepy. But infant tells their parent to take them out of the crib, and instead of listening to the player, sim is listening to an infant, which does not make sense for me. They constantly checking them, which is useless action. Let's be honest, checking infant and toddler is absolutely useless action. They don't do anything after checking them. If they check in toddler and toddler says I'm hungry and they don't feed the toddler after that, checking toddler is useless. Or one of the most irritating things when you're trying to do something to take care of the infant or baby or newborn with one sim, but they act like they could not reach the child because some other sim has autonomous action to do something with that newborn or infant, which is usually not the thing that newborn and infant needs. Sorry for ranting about all of that. For some reason, it irritates me more in the Black Widow gameplay than in Ultimate Decades. Maybe because in Ultimate Decades, raising the family is kind of the goal, when in Black Widow, Evangeline is very busy doing her Black Widow stuff. Nannies are helpful though. I do find them helpful. At least for me, they actually do things. They are getting lost when there is more than one child. I think what they lack is the ability to assign them to a child. To hire maybe 2 nannies and say, you're responsible for this kid and you're responsible for this kid. Don't touch others. After this time successful dinner party, and by successful I mean we got a silver reward for it, my guests stayed for a little too long. I don't know. I had this problem later again of guests just not leaving, even though doors are open and accessible. There is no locked doors, there is literally arches for them to live through. They were just hanging out. But because they were hanging out for a little longer, Max had time to chat with his sister. And after a successful dinner party, I can now get rid of Evangeline's husband. I decided to give pufferfish nigiri another chance. I tried it in the past. I don't remember for whom. I think for second husband of Evangeline. But it didn't work. I couldn't manage to make poor quality nigiri. So I decided to attempt it again. Evangeline made excellent quality nigiri, but it allowed Max and Dwayne to try it and learn recipes themselves. So now they can try and make poor quality nigiri, which didn't work. They were making it normal quality, despite the fact that neither of them had any cooking skill prior to that. And I was thinking about how I can make them worse cooks, and I thought that maybe being in a bad mood would help. I think I also saw Max flirting with Evangeline autonomously again, and thought that maybe if Dwayne sees them flirting, he would get angry, and then that bad mood would help him to make poor quality pufferfish nigiri, which seems a little odd for him to be cooking his own poison, but it worked really well. He became very angry when he saw them flirting, and I made him cook multiple of portions of nigiri, and he made them all poor quality, which makes pufferfish nigiri poisonous. And I decided that that would be our grand finale. Not just him eating pufferfish nigiri and dying from that, but we should throw another dinner party, invite a lot of people and serve them his cooking this time. I thought that it could be him being angry and trying to get his revenge on Evangeline, like just being so fueled by anger that leads him to want to do something really horrible. And when Evangeline already organized another dinner party because she just loves hosting, he might say that, oh, I will serve my special seafood dish that I made for your guests. When I made a guest list for that third party of this episode, I tried to not invite people that I care about. Maybe Evangeline suspected something. But apparently she suspected that late because somehow I did invite her uncle, Bob Pancakes, and Max's sister, and somebody else. Oh, I invited Jade. I remember myself going through the list of people to invite and thinking, oh, I should not invite people who I don't want to die, but I somehow ended up with Jade at that party. Anyways, Dwayne served pufferfish nigiri called everyone to meal. And people started eating, all of them. I tried to stop children from eating, and I think only Pierre ate the pufferfish nigiri. Pierre is Evangeline's son from Jacques. Fortunately, he did not die from it. Yes, poor quality pufferfish nigiri is poisonous, but it's not guaranteed death. There is a chance that Sim will die, and fortunately Pierre did not die from it. And in my games there is a mod that allows children to die from anything, so he was in danger. When I saw him eating the nigiri, I got scared. Also, a lot of my guests showed up dirty and tired, almost like they never left, actually, even though they visually left. I don't know what happened, but at that point, either this lot or this save file was so glitchy. Probably save file, because we had really glitchy cowplant death in the beginning. Dwayne died first from his pufferfish nigiri. Yes, he cooked it and he ate it himself, and I guess it in a way makes him ending his own life. He just could not deal with not having Evangeline to himself, that he decided to go with a bang of killing also a lot of people, including members of royal family, because the second Sim to die was either king's daughter or daughter-in-law. And from perspective of Evangeline, such an event would be horrible. Her reputation remained pristine over the years, despite of all of her shenanigans. And now her husband throwing this murder party, killing members of royal family, leaving so many witnesses. I should have made her angry. I should have gave her angry moodlet, because I think she would have been angry. She basically just sat there, not eating obviously, watching her name, her reputation being destroyed in one night. People were dropping like flies, and probably the funniest thing is that some of them ate nigiri multiple of times before they died. They eat one plate, watch other people die, and then just go for seconds. All of the children were locked upstairs with some boiled eggs for them, and Nanny also being with them, so they were safe. Bob Pancakes ate some nigiri, but thankfully he survived. Unfortunately, Max's sister also took a plate and did not survive, as well as Jade. Those two Sims that I did not want to kill, and I really wanted Evangeline to at least plead for them, to give me chance to save them, but I think there was just too many people in one space. Evangeline just could not get to the Grim Reaper. Jade is dead, her soul been ripped by her lover Grim Reaper, and I was upset about that, but also maybe being a ghost, later I made her a playable ghost, maybe being a ghost would be better for her, would make a better parent for Onyx, her and Grim Reaper's child. Like, she could always be with Onyx and not worry about aging or dying. She's already dead. That party lasted for so long. It took Grim Reaper ages to rip souls of people that died because there were other people in his way. Over the course of majority of that party, Max been sleeping, and then he woke up, he stayed upstairs for a little while taking care of Evangeline babies, but then he came downstairs and actually saw that his sister is dead. And that's where I stopped filming months ago, because I kinda didn't know where to go from there. Technically, I did everything that I wanted to do. Fifth husband of the Black Widow dead, and because I decided to not go past the fifth husband, I'm kind of done, but it felt unfinished. Okay, and I'm now back in the game. You've been looking at the game this whole time, but I've been looking at my recording from months ago. Here is Evangeline Hemlock, and we have our little collection of graves from the dinner party. Evangeline probably thinking about how she could possibly save her reputation. We have Luna, we have Margaret of Hindenburg. I think it's Queen. I think it's our Queen. Don't remember who is this person. Michael Bachelor, brother of Bella Goth. Aspen Bachelor, I think it's Michael's daughter. Peyton Harlow, Jordan Harlow. Maybe it's Luna's family, like her husband's sister and niece or nephew. Jade took her grave with her when I made her a playable ghost and sent her to live back with her child with Onyx. I was thinking, how could I properly end this challenge? And I think I found the answer. I don't know why Max is not sad. His sister died. His only family member died. Who is this person? Sir, John of Hindenburg. This our prince? I told you they not leaving after the party. They getting stuck inside of this house. Chickens want to leave, guests not. But I think after Max walked downstairs and saw that his sister is dead, he would have become furious. And you can see over here what I downloaded. For the first time of me playing Sims, I downloaded Extreme Violence mod. I never tried it, so I don't really know what to expect from it, but I thought that this would be a perfect occasion to try such a mod. What I want to do is actually want to make Max like angry and upset. Let's make him angry, very angry. Yeah, he went downstairs, he saw that his sister is dead. He's now furious and wants revenge. During the whole party, he was sleeping upstairs, so he didn't know that poisonous dish was made actually by Dwayne, but probably doesn't care. Saying goodbye to a king. King is still here. Oh yeah, King is living. King is upset. He lost half of his family. I'm a little bit scared to use extreme violence. Like, how violent is it? Can start with just fight. I think she's going to see them fighting. Maid is watching. That might end poorly for Max. The fight is long, and Max won. Maid is shocked. Okay, I think I should stop stalling. Let's see what our options are. Extreme violence, slash with a lightsaber. Okay, a lot of interesting options. Let's do bare hands. Fit the situation. Which one do I want to see? Okay, I chose one. She's flirty. Maid is panicking. Oh, okay. I don't think I'm ready for these animations. Honestly, I don't know what appropriate reaction to this could be. Poor child. Yeah, who are you calling? And I get kicked out of the tab mod with the message that Osmond likes piano. Yes, child, you can like piano. I think Max went to sleep. Mara witnessed that. Oh, whose grave is this? Apparently we have more graves than I thought. Is this how I decided to end the Black Widow? I wanted to choose the least graphic way for her to go. Sir, who? I don't really need this. Like, we're fine, honestly. How about medieval police officer would be called? Sheriff? Or is it also modern? Who was dealing with crime in medieval times? Just soldiers? Just now realizing that I have zero knowledge about that. Why are you pointing that? At who are you pointing it? Yeah, smells nice, isn't it? We just had nice dinner party. What I wanted to say is that Mara saw that happened, and I think, hold on, okay, Nanny is running away. This person, apparently news reporter, right? Because that's how they usually look like, in a ball gown. He does look fabulous. Just some town gossipers, you know. Maybe King went to his palace and sent all of these people here. Mara saw her father commit this extreme violence, and she does not have a proper context to what happened, because she was also upstairs with all of the other kids, not seeing anything that happened at dinner party. So for her, she just saw her dad kill Evangeline for no reason, for no apparent reason to her, and maybe that will make her believe her mother and believe words that her mom said, that all people are awful and like cruel and violent and there is no true intelligence about them. And Mara believed her father to definitely be an exception. Now she is probably going to leave and find her mom and just go with wherever path her mom prepared for her. The sad piano in the other room, very fitting for this moment. Yeah, that will be my finale for Black Widow challenge. With Black Widow being dead, I think it's appropriate finale. She does have children. He just went to nap in the different room. Maybe this ending also not really exciting, but I always thought that this challenge probably will end in some sort of grand tragedy. Because how else do you end this? Maybe if I got to the point of completing the 10 husbands for the Black Widow, I could have gave her more chill ending, her just deciding that she has enough money now and not marrying anymore. But that seems like an ending for completing the whole challenge. It's like challenge successful kind of ending. And this is more of a mission failed ending. Mara is leaving this house, going to her mom. Younger kids will probably be raised by their older brothers or Ghost of Jade. I just wanted to show you that game mod gave Max a trait Psycho killer. This sim has murdered at least 3 sims in their lives and become used to witnessing murders and dead bodies. They will not react to other sims' murders. But he only killed once. He went mad. He is absolutely went mad. At the point where we are now in Ultimate Decade save, Max is an elder. We went through a lot of years during December everyday uploads, so a lot of background characters gotten quite old. I can see him becoming elderly psychotic man that kills people for fun or out of rage. Duke just aged up into an infant. Well, he's a sunny infant. Congratulations. That is unfortunate family to be born into. So what do we have by the end of this? And Osmond is in bear costume. So what do we have by the end of this challenge? Black Widow herself dead. Her faithful mate Jade is dead too, but she's happily living as a ghost, raising her and Grim Reaper's child Onyx. Maybe they will have their own adventure? I don't know about that. I think oldest Evangeline's son will stay with the family until his brothers are old enough to care for themselves and then just leave, abandon family, change name, run away. He never liked his mother. Max will have to eventually run away, or maybe he will go to jail for either murdering Evangeline or being framed for that dinner party. And I don't know what could possibly become of Evangeline's other children. I don't know what to say. It's Dark Knight, how fitting. This feels like a sad ending but appropriate ending for this challenge. It was a lot of fun going with the random of the game and causing complete chaos. That was fun. It's also started raining. Perfect. I think there is just time to end. I know there is some of you that really like this challenge, like the fun chaotic nature of it, and I do feel bad for not finishing it, but I think it would be worse if I try to drag it, try to continue while I understand that I don't enjoy it anymore. I hope it was fun for these few episodes. I'm definitely going to try and attempt medieval versions of other challenges. I just did not pick yet what exact challenges I want to do. If you want more medieval content, I have an Ultimate Decades playthrough. I will put it somewhere on the screen for you and in the description down below. We're approaching 50 years mark in Ultimate Decades. It's a bit more chill than Black Widow, or tame. Yeah, tame is a better word. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope to see you in different Sims adventures. That's all for Black Widow. Bye!